So I'm actually really glad you guys don't like music in the background because it's a real pain in the dick to go and find music and then get it the right length and everything. So I'm glad you don't really like music. So I've got another 4th gen NU match against my friend Mark or Baller or whatever. He's got a great channel, so you should really go and check him out. His link will be in the description. He uploads very frequently. He uploads 4th gen and 5th gen. So he's gonna lead off with his tits, and I'm gonna lead off with Shuckle because it's speed boost and Shuckle's really fast and stuff. So he goes for Sleep Powder and outspeeds me, which is kind of stupid, but whatever. And basically, that was the only thing on my team that I wanted to fall asleep because it's the most worthless Pokemon on my team. And I knew he was going to set up a Toxic Spike, so I switched into my Typhlosion here and go for Overheat because I was hoping he didn't have a Focus Sash because I didn't want him to get up both layers of those Toxic Spikes because my walls would not have been able to come in safely without getting badly poisoned and eventually wearing down. So I just go for Overheat, and that's obviously going to take it out. Early on, I'll usually go for Overheat, in case someone switches and I get that extra damage on someone, and then more damage on Flamethrower. So I'm going to switch into Hugplox here, and he's going to get poisoned, which is not that big of a deal, and he goes for Stonage and Miss. And Hugplox is like, can I have a hug, please? And then Rampardos is like, no, not really. So he's going to switch into UMAD, and then he's like, Hugplox, and then his Articuno's like, yeah, come here, give me a hug, bro, I love you. Because as you can see, both their hands are up, or wings, or whatever, and they just want to go for hugs, but that doesn't actually happen. So he goes for sub 2, which is pretty funny, so there's just a bunch of beanbags out here. And I go for Leech Seed like a retard. I mean, I didn't know what set this was, like if it was sub Roost, or, Toxic Stalling, or Specs, or whatever. So I'm going to predict him to break my sub this turn. I'm going to go for Substitute, just because I felt like breaking his sub first. Not wanting to show off my other attacking move. So he's just going to go for Ice Beam like I thought, and basically just break my sub. And next turn we're basically going to repeat that. I'm going to go for sub again, and he's going to go for sub again. Because I think he predicted me to go for Sucker Punch to kill me off this turn. So he went for sub, and I predicted him to go for sub and not kill me off, so I did go for sub. And that's exactly what happens here. He goes for sub, and I go for sub. But he's eventually going to win this stall war because I am poisoned, and he's not. So, I mean, I'm not badly poisoned, but that poison is actually doing, 50 damage, 40 damage, something like that. Which can get pretty... Yeah, look at that. See, 40 damage. So I went for Sucker Punch thinking he was going to, break my sub again, but he makes a nice prediction and goes for Roost. Which wasn't really that big of a deal because he didn't lose too much health. So this turn, he's going to go for Substitute, predicting my Sucker Punch again, thinking that's my only attacking move. But I actually do have Focus Punch, which is a really great move on my part, because I am going to break the sub, but he's not going to be able to set up another one. Because he thought I'd use my other attacking move to break his sub, and then once it's broken, he could set up another one. But since Focus Punch has priority, that was actually a pretty good move on my part, but... Hugplox dies, so I'm going to bring in Typhlosion here, obviously, to scare this guy off and just go for, Overheat, because this thing does not want to stay in. So he switches into Get Her Done, and Typhlosion is just like, hey, go kill yourself, because I go for Overheat, and that is almost going to kill it, actually. This thing has crappy defenses. I mean, it's got massive HP, but shitty defenses, so my Overheat almost kills. And I'm like, okay, 95% of these guys are scarfed, so I'm going to have to get out of here and go into Shuckle. As a death fodder, I was hoping he'd go for Earthquake to be safe, but he just goes for Stone Edge, and that's obviously going to take out Shuckle. Because I don't have a Focus Sash, and that's going to kill him. So I believe I switch in... Who do I switch? Earwax, yeah. Because he is locked into Stone Edge, and that's not going to do anything to me, and I can just go for Surf and kill him. But he does switch out an Articuno, which was the pretty good move on his part, because that is probably a special defense wall, as basically almost every Articuno is, and that Surf basically does nothing to him. So I'm going to switch out, thinking he was going to go for Substitute here. And I want to switch into Typhlosion, get a free switch into him, but he ends up going for Ice Beam. He said that was a misclick, so I do believe him, because I would have went for Substitute in that position, but... whatever, his Ice Beam basically does nothing to me. And I think he switches out here, not wanting his Articuno to die. Yeah, he switches out, goes into his Get Her Done, and I've seen enough of his team now where I can just go for Flamethrower and basically KO almost everything, because This guy is, my late game sweeper. This guy and Tauros, like, one's special, one's physical, Depending on the team, I'll switch in accordingly. So he's going to bring in his Sandslash, and I'm sorry, guys, this is kind of a little off topic, but I'm pretty sure you're sick of this team, but I have a few more battles with this team, and hopefully you will like it. I don't know. But, so I just kill this Hedgehog guy off with one Flamethrower because, monstrous special attack and pretty shitty special defense. So he's going to bring in his Articuno, hoping he can live one Flamethrower for me and kill me off with an Ice Beam. But that is sadly not the case, and my Flamethrower is going to KO this Articuno. I have no idea what this guy's EV spread is, but it wasn't enough to take a Flamethrower. And the poison is wearing me down, but I can stay in one more turn and hopefully outspeed anything he has, except he has a Linoon. And I was thinking he would predict my switch and go for like Belly Drum or Substitute, and I didn't want him getting like a late game Linoon sweep, so I stayed in and went for the Flamethrower just in case he did to break his sub or kill him. But he just kills me off, so I switch into Original because, Bulls are original in NU, and I just get the Intimidate off, which is pretty awesome. And he said he was going for the Belly Drum here. I don't know what his logic was. I mean, Tauruses don't really set up, so I don't really know what his logic was there, but my return is able to kill him off, which is pretty damn awesome, and I believe he just brings out BJ's, which is a really, 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 really original name. Like, have you ever seen that before on a Jinx? Like, I mean, I haven't. So I give this guy props, Like, since when have you ever seen that, on a freaking Jinx before? That's just so original. And I just kill him off with the turn. So great game, Mark, or Baller, whatever you want to call him. And go check him out, link in the description. So hope you enjoyed it, and yeah.